Kevin Hay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Spring Creek mine should remain open. It's going instead to be mothballed. It's going to be mothballed because of this government's asset sales agenda. As the documents between these ministers and the Solid Energy Board clearly demonstrate, they have been instructed to prepare the company for sale, to maximise the share price. And that, sir, is why Solid Energy is being denied the opportunity to exercise its normal functions of managing through price fluctuations. So the asset sales agenda of this government is going to leave the government accounts over $100 million a year worse off. It's going to increase electricity prices. It's going to lose strategic control of important New Zealand assets. It's going to lose sovereignty for New Zealanders. And it's going to cost the jobs, the livelihoods of all of those people who will lose their jobs, their families, and cause a terrific economic impact to my home community of Greymouth. Mr. Speaker, for all those jobs that will be directly lost, there will be a knock-on effect, and probably there'll be two jobs lost for every one directly lost. And those will be felt in ancillary industries, in contractors, in retailers and in schools. The impact will be profound. The profits from coal mining currently all leave the coast. And in Mr. Joyce's preferred option of Denniston and the Bathurst mine, they won't only leave the coast, they'll leave the country. But, sir, the wages spent by those coal miners in our local economy are an important input into our local economy. And the reality is that these miners, the miners who will lose their job as a result of government's actions, will tomorrow or the day after instead be on a plane to Australia, some of whom having come to the West Coast from halfway around the world in order to take up jobs only recently offered to them by Solid Energy. It doesn't have to be that way. The government's quite right. It could reverse its decision. It could reverse its agenda of asset sales. It could hold out the hand and assist the miners of Spring Creek and the local mine management who came up with a totally viable plan to, in fact, keep the mine open. But the government has chosen not to do that. Now, the Green Party's policy is indeed for no new coal mines, but our policy is to have existing mines continue to be open, and that's because there needs to be time for transition for industries to be able to move to new technologies that don't require coal, and also transition in local economies so that there are jobs to replace these ones that will be lost. Now, Minister Joyce has, I believe, interfered in proper judicial process by calling on those who have a legitimate case before the courts to withdraw it. I believe that's inappropriate. But, sir, Mr. Joyce's red herring is particularly objectionable because it's a bit galling to be lectured on job creation by someone who has presided over the loss of almost 40,000 manufacturing jobs in this country. So his suggestion of moving these jobs to Denniston actually misunderstands the nature of coal mining. These are specialist skills, and most of the jobs are not readily transferable between one and the other. But also, rather than just up the coast, Denniston is not in our community at all. It's 150 kilometres away. So he is expecting that these miners will uproot their families again and move on to Westport. And then maybe after that one is exhausted, it'll be moving on to the next one. That might be Canvas Town. And so his expectation is that this labour force will follow the booms and the asset bubbles throughout the country. Well, sir, that reminds me of the 19th century economy of this country and of the West Coast. And the really galling thing, sir, is this, that we have a Minister for Economic Development whose entire vision for economic development appears to be more of old 19th century industries and has no grasp whatsoever of the need to transition the West Coast economy and indeed the New Zealand economy to a new one that actually creates high value quality jobs.
The Honourable